Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are back again with our lecture number 18 of our essay writing and communication skills. Today we are going to talk about thoroughly about the reflective essay that we will enjoy while learning about it and writing it also. So to begin with, we will quickly recap that what we have done so far in our previous lecture. The previous lecture was basically about the writing the personal essay, which is also one kind of the narrative form of essay. So we have thoroughly discussed that what and how do we describe personal essay and how do we differentiate it from the your narrative essay. Now we have thoroughly discussed that what personal essay is all about. It basically talks about the personal experiences in your life that have moved you somehow, or that have become one of the moving aspect in your life. So we begin our lecture number 17 with describing the personal essay, that what exactly personal essay is it and how do we actually define a personal essay. That is kind of explanation of your personal thoughts on any incident, any event, any condition that has helped you move towards anything, or it has got this specific meaning. Now that meaning has something to do with explaining that if that incident or that event ended up in happiness or sorrow, and that possesses and that carries some kind of a message to be received and to be delivered for the audience or the reader to understand. So this is how you explain the personal essay. I hope you don't forget anything from our previous lecture, and you are remembering that what I am talking about, and you are again jotting down everything in your mind that I have explained in my previous lecture. Then we have discussed some of the steps that are some of the subjects that can be taken as the personal essay, and we have also talked about some of the resources that can be read for picking up the topic for your, or for selecting topic, or for seeing that how you can select one topic for your personal essay. Then we have seen the personal essay as a personal narrative, or the personal essay as a personal opinion. So we have discussed personal essay in the both aspects. Then we have seen that how to choose a topic for your personal essay by make the most of life experiences, and to see that which experiences in your life and which events in your life have taught you a lot. So anything striking in your life that has taught you something, you can write about that very easily. Then we have discussed some of the steps for thinking about the personal essay, that how you can develop one personal essay, what are the steps that you are supposed to keep in mind while or before writing any personal essay. Then we have discussed one example of farewell of the adolescents, or farewell to adolescence, where we have discussed that how those kids who are not teenagers anymore are being treated as teenagers, those who are out of this teen box are being treated in the college, and how do people treat them to give them this farewell. So these are all things that were discussed in our previous lecture. Today we are going to thoroughly discuss the reflective essay, that how to define one reflective essay, and how we can produce one good reflective essay. Now first of all, just to share with you some of the sharing thoughts that can be, or which are related to the reflective essay. Now let's read from the slide. Now whatever we are writing, that is basically coming from our input skills. Let's recall our lecture number 1, in which we have thoroughly discussed the input skills or receptive skills, and then we have in detail talked about the output skills that were your productive skills. So your receptive skills are listening and reading, in which you receive the information and you try to grasp that information inside you. So in this way you define your input skills or your receptive skills. So once you read out from any essay, it means that you are receiving anything, or you are receiving something that is inside you, or that is going inside you. Now that you try to write down it on the piece of paper, and you try to reproduce that information that is in the form of writing or speaking maybe, so that will become your productive skills. So we are moving from reading to writing. In their essays, we are specifically going to talk about Emerson and Thoreau. These two people, they were the very famous American writers who are very famous for writing the brainy quotes and producing something that really mean or that can serve as becoming one part of literature. Now these two people, Emerson and Thoreau, they reflect upon some basic truths about life that they derive from the personal experience. Now they share this thought that our personal, the truths about the life are being, they are derived from the personal experiences that we have in our life. Emerson's words, this one, that whoso would be a man must be a non-conformist. So the one is going to be the real man who is going to be the non-conformist. Now this is what we are supposed to elaborate before understanding that what reflective essay is all about and what reflective essay looks like. Still poke us to examine our lives today. Now this statement of his try to explain a real man or whoso would be a man, the one who wanted to become a man or one who wants to become a man must be a non-conformist. Now he or she must not agree to all the norms and all the rules of the society. Now how to do that? Let's quickly jump on to the next slide. Now sharing your experience like Emerson and Thoreau, you too, or you must have experiences from which you learn important lessons. Now these important lessons in your life which have taught you anything and which have made you this non-conformist, these are the things that matter in your life. The reflective essay describes a personal experience and explores its significance. Now autobiographies, letters, memoirs often include reflective writing that gives insight to the writer's action. Now whosoever is writing about those personal experiences in their lives which have brought some change in them or which have taught them some important lessons. Now this is what reflective essay is all about. So sticking to Emerson and Thoreau's definition of reflective essay, which exactly describes a personal experience and explores its significance. So how that personal experience or how that event or incident happened to you and what was its significance, this is what reflective essay is all about. Now moving on to the next slide. Now you can very well see the picture right in front of you which shows you reflective essay at a glance. Now if you see the picture carefully, you would see that these personal experiences of yours are gathered together, or they are being put in the funnel to see that how your thoughts, your observations and your connections can mingle together and can work together to produce one lesson that you have learned from your life. So this is how you try to write down one reflective essay. Now let's try to see that what are the standards for writing one reflective essay and how one successful reflective essay and what one successful reflective essay should carry. Now a successful reflective essay should be written in the first person. Now since that is wholly solely about your personal experience and that is wholly solely about your personal thoughts, so that is to be written in the first person, that is I. It must describe an important experience in your life or in the life of someone you admire. So start thinking of people who are around you, who mean to you, or who are exactly your goal of attention or your center of attention, or maybe there is any experience in your life that you want to talk about in your reflective essay. Now in your reflective essay, another thumb rule is that you can use figurative language, sometimes you can use dialogues, sometimes sensory details or other techniques like this to recreate the experience for the reader. So to make things interesting and look good for the reader, you are supposed to add in these kind of things, the figurative language, sometimes dialogue, sometimes sensory details, and sometimes other techniques that you feel are appropriate to be inserted in your reflective essay can be inserted to make your essay look good. Now, your reflective essay explains the significance of the event. It usually tries to talk about or it enhances or try to focus on the significance of the event, that how that event was important and how that event carried any importance in your life. Then your reflective essay makes an observation about the life based on the experience. So basically that's an observation that you can make on the life-like experience. It encourages reader to think about the significance of the experience in light of their own lives. So its significance will be drawn for the reader in a way that if you are going to help them relate that very event or relate that very incident to their personal lives as well. So that was all about basics in the box, that what particularly a reflective essay will focus on. So if you cut it down, or if you particularly talk about that what reflective essay is, so we say that's the combination of your personal experience being presented through your thoughts, through your observations, and the connections that you make to be produced as some lesson that you have learned in your life. Maybe you talk about your personal experience, or you talk about any experience that was being experienced by any person who is or whom you admire in your life. So this is how you explain one reflective essay. So once you have developed this understanding of knowing about what reflective essay is, you are going to see that how to write one. For writing one reflective essay, we will make sure that today we discuss more than what we discuss every day, so that you can learn about and we can thoroughly make and create one good reflective essay. Now, the first thing while writing your reflective essay is your pre-writing. As for every type of writing that we see, our pre-writing stage or brainstorming is the basic thing that we are supposed to do while writing any kind of essay that we want to focus on, or any paper or any writing material that you want to write on. So for pre-writing or the pre-writing techniques that can be used for developing one reflective essay is to find ideas for your essay. So why do you have to use this planning technique or pre-writing technique, or why do you have to brainstorm? As to find out ideas for your essay. Now let's move further and see that how do you do that. Try listing some memorable experiences. Now, once you have picked up a paper for brainstorming, or once you have picked up a paper for pre-writing, you are going to start thinking of all those possible or memorable experiences in your life which mean to you or which are important for you. You might look through family photograph albums to help jog your memory. So you are going to, if you are not recalling your memory fully, and if you cannot recall each and everything that has happened in your life and which you think was of the prior importance, so what you can do is to pick up your family albums. That's one example that we have quoted here, so that you can think back of looking or writing down any reflective essay on any topic that you can select from your family albums. Maybe you have or you are fond of writing down things in your diary, or you are fond of keeping one journal, or maybe you can talk to your grandfather, your grandmother, maybe you can talk to your parents if you really are interested in writing to one reflective essay. So the first thing that you are supposed to do is to recall your personal experiences, as to see that what exactly you want to write about in your reflective essay. Then make list of people who inspire you. What have these people done to earn your admiration? Jot down some notes about an incident from each person's life that shows his or her specific qualities. So your main aim would be to list down all those people who were involved in the event, or whom you can target while jotting down the information for your reflective essay. As I said, that related to any event that you have selected, you can talk to your siblings, you can talk to your parents, even you can talk to your grandparents if they are still alive, you can talk to your friends if they were involved in the situation, or if they were the part of that experience about which you want to write about, and so on and so forth. So doing in this way, or writing your essay in this way, is going to be of great help if you want to select any topic for your reflective essay. So that was your pre-writing technique. Now that you have a thought of any experience that has appealed you, or that you have selected out of or from your jot down information in your album, in your diary, or in your journal, the next step that you are supposed to do is to start thinking about the experience, that why do you want to write on it. So your next step would be that you start thinking about the experience, that why do you remember this experience more clearly than the others. So while trying to explore that why are you writing for this experience, you are going to help yourself see that this question, basically this why, is going to help you talk about the importance, or reveal the importance and the significance of that particular event about which you want to write about. The second thing that you would think of while writing or while thinking about your experience is that what different emotions did you go through during the experience. So what was so different with that experience that you have picked up, other than choosing the other experiences, that you are going to answer this question, that what were the emotions being involved in this kind of the experience that you want to write about that are incomparable with the others. And the third question would be that did your emotions change, like before experiencing so and so event and after experiences. So this before and after is very important while you want to answer this third question, that did your emotions change while you thought of that experience in the different way before, because you wanted to write about it from the different perspective. Now let's move on, that how would you explore the significance of the event for writing down one reflective essay. You would simply answer this: what is the significance of your experience for yourself, and how it can be significant for the people to learn some lesson. Then what is most obvious to you, so you are going to talk about those things which are very obvious before mentioning any before and after effects. Then what else did your experience teach you? So was there anything else more than the lesson that you have learned, or the thought that you want to convey to your audience? What is there anything else that you want to mention to your audience? Keep exploring to uncover as many levels of meanings as you can. So there can be one level of meaning that can be explored. However, there can be levels of meanings which can be explored while you have picked up one topic for your, or for elaboration of your experience. Now let's move on to the next slide. Now you are to decide on the scope of your essay. For that you will answer while you are still planning for your essay writing, or for your reflective essay. So you are going to work on this scope of your essay, that what target or what aim your essay would achieve, or which direction or which scope your essay would go in while you are starting, or you are gathering information to write it down. Will you dwell on the example in depth, or relate several events to create the impression you want? So if that's going to answer these questions, that if you want to dwell on one example in depth, or you are going to relate several events, so how do you want to go about that? This is your choice. If you want to only focus on only one example that is of your main or that is of your interest, or you want to rely on relating different events that you can think that you can insert in your reflective essay, so that is all your choice while writing, while planning for your reflective essay. Now decide on the message you want to convey. Now your message is very important. To do so, what you can do is how you can encourage your readers to apply the meaning of the experience to their own lives. So this is how you are going to relate this personal experience of your own to the others, by telling them that what meaning does this personal experience of yours carry for them in their lives. So you are not going to tell them that what you have learned, or what meaning this personal experience, or what is the level or the levels of meaning are there in your life. You are going to also trying to relate them in their lives also. So moving on to the next slide, that has, once you are done with your drafting, once you are done with your pre-writing stage, you are going to make sure that you come up to your drafting stage. As we have discussed thoroughly in our previous lecture number 5, I guess, that how what is the writing process and how to go about it. So after the pre-writing or the planning step, you are to do with your writing techniques. That is for writing the reflective essay, the first thing that you are supposed to pick up is making the draft for your essay. So John Gardner has said the writer's material is what he cares about. So what is important for you, or what is significant for you, and what carries a meaning for you is important to be written on the paper once you choose to pick up any type of essay to write on. So what we understand from this quotation and this saying is that whatever you care about is more important than what others have to see and what others have to feel while you write these kind of personal essays for the others. Now to begin with, or how do you start writing? Just first stage is drafting. You might write about your experience as though you were writing a journal entry. Now that is something that we do every day. Like most of us must be fond of writing down the diaries and journals. So writing up your draft would be the same way we write our everyday diary or we write our journal. So this is not a big deal. Or you may want to begin your draft by trying out variety of ideas. So if you are not satisfied with this technique of journal entry, what you can do is that you can start or you can think of the variety of ideas. You can brainstorm to see that how many ideas you can put in while writing. Let your ideas flow, even though you sense problems you'll need to address later. Now start writing. At least make one draft that is that you think will possess a meaning, would carry a meaning that can be helpful for your reader to be to understand and to explore that what meaning or what how much that event or incident means to you, and how they are going to relate that event to their personal lives. So this is how you start making your drafts. Maybe you explore different kinds of ideas or the variety of ideas, the ways you try to find out the ways that how you can actually begin your paper, or maybe you can just simply start it as the way we write our everyday diary or a journal entry. Now moving on to the next slide, how during drafting the second stage is organization, that how you are going to organize your essay. Start your paper with an account of your experience. So this account of your experience is important while you actually start your paper, and then explain its significance. Now first of all you would tell about your experience, and then you would move on to telling about its importance and significance for the others. From that point, go on to discuss the larger lessons about life that the experience has taught you. So you are going to then discuss the lessons that experience has taught you in life, or begin with the larger lesson you want to share with your readers, and then describe the experience that helped you learn this lesson. So it can be you can use the deductive approach as well as you can use the other one. So in this way, you are going to make sure that either you discuss or you target on telling the larger ideas first, and then larger lesson first, and then you move on to your personal experience, or you begin with telling the personal experience first and then you talk about the lessons that you have learned in your life. So it can be vice versa. Your basic purpose is to write down an account of your life that has taught you any lesson, and then you are going to tell about its significance to the reader. Now while drafting, keep in mind that you are going to go into elaborating on ideas. Now how do you do that? You make or you use the precise language. With vivid language will help you convey the lesson about the life you want to explain. So this kind of language, as we have also talked about the language structure that you are supposed to follow while writing one good essay, so here is same the case while elaborating elaborating your ideas, use the vivid language, the varieties of ways which are helpful or which can be beneficial for writing one good essay. After you write a first rough draft, that is your draft number 1 of your whole essay, set it aside for a while before you go back to revise it. Now we prefer that you write your final draft for to do the proofreading, but for the reflective essay you are going to make sure that once you have made your draft number 1, you are going to leave it aside and then you are going to reread that or revise it after a while. Taking a fresh look will help you see problems that you may have overlooked. So since this is your first draft, so you can work on it more, and you can while you try to reread your paper, this is going to be very beneficial for you, because you can look into those details or to look into those problems which you may have overlooked or which maybe you have skipped while writing your first draft. So now moving on to the revising portion. Once that you have written your first draft, how do you revise it? The first thing that you are supposed to keep in mind is to avoid the glitches that can be used in your reflective essay, making sure that none of your images and glitches are glitches which express that were once fresh and powerful but have since been overused. So you are not going to overuse anything which looks dull and boring and which don't have any freshness in it. So try avoiding the glitches in your writing. The second thing, once you are supposed to reread your paper. Once you have revised it for the glitches, you are going to edit that. Now for that, try to see that the possessives and plurals are not there. As you revise your reflective essay, be sure that you have formed plurals and possessive correctly. So if you misuse them, or if you try to use the plurals in the negative way, that can be of digression for your reader. So try to avoid that once you are trying to make the final draft of your reflective essay. The last thing that you are supposed to do after you are done with your editing, you are supposed to proofread your paper thoroughly as to see if you have made any mistakes that are useful or that can be kept in mind, or which are supposed to be kept in mind before for writing one good essay. Same goes with the reflective essay. You are supposed to keep in all those things in mind which are beneficial, or which are useful, or which are necessary to write down one good reflective essay. Now that you are done with how to use the pre-writing, writing and rewriting techniques for writing one good reflective essay, now let's see that how to write one good reflective essay. In a reflective essay, you need to express your thoughts and emotions about certain events and phenomena. So you are supposed to express your thoughts and emotions, or to add in your personal experiences through your thoughts, through your personal feelings, through your emotions, to highlight them with your emotions. Use such kind of vivid verbs and adjectives that reveal your innermost feelings for the reader. So a reflective essay is the best reflection of your inside once you use these kind of emotions and feelings that come from within you. Writing this type of essay is good training to sharpen your critical thinking skills. Now that you are writing about your personal experiences in your life, how do they help you sharpen your critical thinking skills? Now that is the question. If you are writing one reflective essay, and if we again and again say that you are writing about you are writing about any personal experience or related to any event in your life that means to you, or maybe any event that has occurred in the life of people who are important to you, or who are special for you, your basic aim for writing down one reflective essay is to find out those parts which actually mean to you and which can mean to the other people. So this once you are trying to tell the significance of that very event that has occurred in your life to the reader, you can write one good reflective essay, because that is going to help you sharpen your critical thinking, because you are going to look on understand that event from that critical point of view, that how that event has helped you in a good or in a bad sense. So this is how one reflective essay, once you have targeted to work on one incident that has happened in your life, to work that how you are going to critically see to tell your reader the meaning of it, the significance of it, the importance of it, so you can sharpen your critical thinking skills, as well as your ability to develop and express opinions on particular topic. So it helps you to develop and express your opinions about one particular topic, either that's formulated by yourself or assigned to you by your teacher. So maybe you are being given any topic by your teacher to work on, or maybe you have selected one on your own and you want to write on it from your point of view and from your perspective. So this is going to be very, very beneficial for writing down one good reflective essay. I hope that you are trying to absorb and digest every information that I am telling you. Now moving on to the next slide, there are some steps that are supposed to be followed other than how to use pre-writing, writing and rewriting techniques, that how exactly you are supposed to produce one good reflective essay. Now let's try to read out our step number 1. Think of an event that could become the topic of your essay. Now that remember that we are talking about the reflective essay. Now that I hope that you have understood that what reflective essay is, and if I question you right now that what reflective essay is, you would be able to tell me that how to explain one good reflective essay. To tell you again, a reflective essay is something or a piece of that academic paper which tells about your personal experience, not only about your personal experience, that can be the personal experience that has happened to someone really special in your life, and you try to tell its significance and meaning to the reader. So this is how you explain one good reflective essay. There are some steps that you can follow while writing one good reflective essay. Now pick up your pens and copies and try to start thinking of any topic that you can and you want to write out. Now that you have your copy and your pen in your hand, the first step that you are supposed to do is to think of an event that could become the topic of your essay. Now think for a minute about any topic in your life, any experience in your life that means to you and you want to really work on it. For that, as I have discussed, you can pick up your journal, your diary, your album, your photographs, anything from where you can gather this topic or you can gather this information. Since it is going to be a reflective essay, first of all, ask yourself how you feel about this event. Now that you have picked up your event about which you want to write down, you are supposed to answer these questions thoroughly, that how you feel about this event, and secondly, how it affected or did not affect your life and why. So you are going to answer these questions in your mind. Maybe if you are not comfortable in answering these questions only in your mind, you can write them down on the piece of paper that you have picked up for writing one good reflective essay. This will help you formulate a thesis that will be a focal point of your essay. Now that you have selected one topic and you are trying to think that and how do you feel about this event, and why have you picked this topic for your reflective essay, and how that event affected or did not affect your life and why. So these are some questions that you are going to answer. These questions will help you develop your thesis statement for your evaluation, for your reflective essay that is to be evaluated and that is to be argued. So this is how you are going to do your step number 1. I hope you have selected one topic for your reflective essay. Now that you have selected one topic for your reflective essay and made your thesis statement, now let's move on to the next slide. That is your step number 2. Now make a mind map. To do so, write down your thesis and draw a circle around it. Now your thesis will come in the middle and you are going to circle that thesis with the help of your pen. Now, second step that you are supposed to take is now identify your main arguments and ideas that will support it and help the reader follow the evolution of your thoughts and experiences. Group them in paragraphs and connect them with rays to your central circle. So your arguments and ideas which are related to your thesis statement or your main idea or the topic that you have selected for your reflective essay should be branched up or should be read up with all the paragraphs, the subtopics, or any your arguments and your ideas in your on your sides. Finally, decide the logical sequence of these paragraphs and order them accordingly. Now let's try making one mind map on our own. As I said that you are going to write down your thesis in the middle. This is going to be your thesis, that is also your topic of the event that you want to write down in your essay. Circle it. You are going to make this circle around it. Then you are going to talk about all the arguments that are related to your thesis statement, and you are going to also talk about the ideas which are related to your thesis. Now you can write them down in different boxes. There can be more than 2 arguments, and there can be more than ideas which are there while you select or while you start writing about your thesis statement. So there can be the number of arguments, and there can be the number of theses and the ideas that can come in your mind while writing about one particular topic. Now you are going to relate all these ideas to your main topic with the help of the rays like this, which are going to help you draw the mind map for it. Now all these arguments or ideas are related to your topic. Then we are going to see the logical sequence which argument you are going to put in your step number 1 and which argument will be followed by the other. So if I say that this is your argument number 1, this is your argument number 2, and this is your argument number 3, and this is your argument number 4, and this is your idea number 1, this is your idea number 2, and this is your idea number 3. So we are going to draw the logical this organization of the thoughts, and this is how we are going to then start writing actual on the actual piece of paper, and this is how you are going to formulate your thoughts on the piece of paper. So this is how you make the mind map of your any reflective essay that you want to work on. Your basic purpose is to find out any topic and draw the thesis statement on which you want to give your arguments and opinions on, arguments and ideas on. Now for the next step that you are supposed to do and supposed to follow is that you are supposed to write a strong opening paragraph. Now why a strong opening paragraph? Because your introduction must be eye-catching so that the reader becomes engaged immediately. So to grab the attention of the reader immediately, your opening paragraph or your introduction should be eye-catching. That should be interesting enough so that the reader is going to see. Now to do so, you are going to write down that what this event was and how that event was significant to you, for you, and how that can be significant for your reader. So this is what is going to be your main target, and this is how you can make your introduction paragraph interesting. Now your step number 4 would be that state your supporting arguments, ideas and examples in the body paragraphs. Now your supporting arguments that we have numbered in our mind map, and the ideas which also we have numbered in our mind map, you are supposed to arrange them in your body parts. Emphasize only one point or experience as well as reflections on it within each paragraph. So each argument will be elaborated in the different paragraphs that are related to your main topic or main thesis of your essay. So this is how you draw this chronological order or draw this sequence for your essay, reflective essay. Your step number 5 is to, in the first sentence of the conclusion, now that we are done with our writing the introduction, that is somewhat catchy to catch or grab the attention of the reader. We are also done with writing the main body, which carries different paragraphs, and each paragraph is based on one particular argument that we have mentioned in our mind map. And our step number, the next step would be that we are going to write down the conclusion. So our next paragraph would be conclusion paragraph, which briefly summarize your thoughts to date. Think about what you have learned and how your experience might be useful to others. Finish your essay with symbolic question to the readers about how they might act in a similar situation. The alternate for it is that ask them to think about a related topic on their own. So this symbolism or this symbolic question is going to actually address to the reader that how, if they somewhat experience the same situation in their life, so how are they going to tackle with it, and how they are going to actually cope with it in their practical life. So this is how you are going to draw the conclusion. Remember that you are writing about the reflective essay, so how you are exactly going to grab the attention of the reader to bring that to make them think that how significant that experience was in your life, how meaningful that experience was in your life, and how would they simply think of the same experience in their life, and how would they react accordingly. So this is how you write now your step number 5, and that was the last step for writing any reflective essay. Now, topic selection for your reflective essay is again not very difficult, because that has something to do with your personal experiences in your life. So you cannot, you won't have to worry about this, and you can choose one topic very easily. Since composing a reflective essay presupposes that you will write about a personal experience, you can choose whatever event you like. So any event that is there in your life, but you are supposed to remember that that event is supposed to be different from, or sparking from, or somewhat eye-catching from the other experiences that you have experienced in your life. It is almost like a diary, like a journal, where you write down your thoughts about some significant happening in your life. So that carries some importance, and that carries significance in your life. It can be a book, an event, or a person. So it can be a book, any event, or any person that you want to write about. The main thing is to state your opinion. So your personal opinion, that graph of your how do you signify, or how do you elaborate the significance of that experience in your life is more important for the reader. For example, you can write about a trip to an exotic place and a situation involving human rights in some distant country. So these are some examples that you can follow for writing down the reflective essay on your own. Now here is a list of topics, and you can pick up one topic to write down. Now people would have written about a book that you have recently read, a conflict in the Middle East, a certain personality, the solving of a difficult problem, a successfully completed research project, the problem of alcoholism, and so on and so forth. So these kind of topics can be of the major interest for the reader once you start, or once you plan for writing down one good reflective essay. Now moving on to the next slide, there are some key points to be remembered and to be considered while writing one good reflective essay, as we talk about the same points for writing down every kind of essay that we have done so far. So there are some key points to be remembered while we think of writing about one good reflective essay. The first point that you are supposed to remember is that your introductory paragraph could partially disclose or give a hint about the conclusions in your essay. So your introduction paragraph should have, or should partially disclose that what your conclusion will look like. How you are going to do that? You are basically going to talk about the significance or the meaning of the particular topic that you are going to elaborate in your closing paragraph. Now these two thoughts will be connected, because you are going to particularly talk about the meaning of that very event, incident, a thing, or a place that means to you in your life, to the for the reader. So here is an example stated also. As I'll read it, you have to focus on it. When I first saw a desert with my own eyes, I thought that it was possibly the most lonely place in the world. However, as I studied it in more detail, I found that things were not quite so bad as I had imagined. So your experience, the writer tells about his experience of going into the desert, that the way he have read about the desert, that this is the most worst place, or this is the most it could be very miserable or could be very different experience. It was not that bad experience of out of the stuff that he has read about the deserts. So in the first paragraph, in the opening paragraph, he has clearly mentioned that his experience of going into the desert was not as bad as he has already read about. So this is how you tell the reader that how was your personal experience in your introduction paragraph. You tell them about its significance and its meaning to the reader clearly. Now moving on to the next point, as we have mentioned in the basics of the box while we were discussing some of the techniques that you are supposed to remember while writing one good reflective essay. Since reflective essay is partially based on the personal experience, so it is acceptable to use the first pronoun, first personal pronoun, that is I. So I, the mention of I can be there before you actually start up any reflective essay and before you actually think of writing down one good reflective essay on your own. Now the next thing that you are supposed to remember is the usage of one or more quotations in the introduction is the important technique that can make your writing more authoritative. Now this mention of the quotations or the sayings in your opening paragraph is can be of a great importance once you start writing your reflective essay. Now see that today I have begun my lecture with one quote said by Emerson and Thoreau, because I wanted to tell you that how these quotations can help you and how these sayings and references can help you while you choose for writing something that is of importance in the daily life, and how you can make it important for the reader also. In most reflective essay, apart from describing what went right, you may also describe what went wrong. So not only this right is important, this wrong thing is also important, because you are going to critically reflect your personal thoughts. Now this critical analysis or this critical review, because we said that reflective essay helps you polish your critical thinking. So you are going to critically see that how that event, that person, that thing, that place has helped you developed your thinking, and how if you are going to target and focus on writing one good reflective essay, you have to tell that what went right and what went wrong while you wanted to write about that, and how some experience could have been improved. So you are not going to particularly talk about that very experience and end there. You are going to also talk about its significance and importance, and how would you do that? You would tell the reader clearly that how that experience could be improved or could have been improved if so and so elements have been added in it. Now that we are done with some key points to be remembered while writing one good reflective essay, there are some do's that we are supposed to keep in mind while writing one good essay. Now do remember that you write your ideas in a descriptive manner. Now what does this description has to say? Your thoughts must be stated very clearly so that your reader understand exactly what you wanted to say. Now that description is supposed to be, now remember the descriptive essay, you are supposed to describe each and everything from every minute detail so that the reader knows that what exactly you are talking about. So your description should be very, very clear. Your ideas, your arguments should be very, very clear for the reader to understand that what direction you want to take them in and how do you want to take them into that situation. Do remember that despite your essay being a reflective type, it is still an academic paper. So to keep it, so you are supposed to keep it as formal as possible. So for your reflective essay, you are not going to make it informal, as we make our narrative or personal essays informal by using those informal elements in the paper which help you bring them to the conversational style. So you are not going to do that. You are going to stick to all the rules of writing down the formal essay once you pick up the reflective essay to be written as one type. Do follow precisely the classical structure. Now this classical structure, as you follow it for all other formal essay types, is of an introduction, the main body paragraphs, which can be 3 or more than 3, and then your conclusion. So this 5 paragraph essay is your classic approach or your classical structure for writing down or making one good reflective essay. Do keep in mind that you should write your essay basing not only on the personal experience but also using some factual material. So since you are talking about your personal experience, that is to be added up with the evidence, any factual material that you can provide while writing any reflective essay. Why? Because your arguments should be strong enough to appeal to the reader's logic. They are not made up, or they are not ordinary, or they are not impressions. That's not an illusion that drags you to the surrealism. That is something that is reality based and that is life based, so that has to be factual. Now don't be too personal, because you are allowed to use this first personal pronoun, that is I, but you are not supposed to be very personal while writing the reflective essay. Despite the fact that a reflective essay is based on the personal experience, remember that you are writing an academic essay, not a letter to a friend. So your reflective essay is somewhat different from how do you write a letter to your friend and how do you write a diary. It is somewhat different from those things, because you are supposed to write it in a formal way first of all, and then you are supposed to use some structure for writing down one good reflective essay. Don't try to cram all your experiences into one essay. Now if you are going to talk about everything that you have learned or you have experienced in one particular event, they are going to become boring and lengthy, because if the writer is going to read so many things in one paper, he's going to not focus on one thing. So your main focus is to choose the most important and significant examples that are related to your thesis statement and your topic before you actually start thinking of writing one good reflective essay. Now don't try to write everything at once. Now if we have made this mind map that I have taught you to how to make one, you would be in a better position to see that how you can divide different ideas differently, and then how you can sequence them and bring them in order to bring it to the information for the reader. Don't make your essay a free-flowing analysis of all your unstructured thought, insights and ideas. Now your thoughts are to be structured while you want to write down one reflective essay, and your ideas are not the free-flowing analysis. That's something that comes in the logical sequence. So you are supposed to keep in mind that your ideas are not coming randomly as you write a letter to your friend, or as you write your daily journal, or as you write your diary, because your thoughts are not coming randomly. You are going to organize them on the piece of paper and to present it in front of the audience. So it has to have some logical order before you present it in front of the audience. Now there are some common mistakes that people can make while writing one reflective essay. So you are supposed to stick to all these common mistakes, and you are not going to repeat them in your essay. The inclusion of too much personal information in your essay, so you are going to avoid this personal information in your essay. Remember that your main goal is to state your opinion and analyze a certain issue, referring to some of your past experiences and reflect on them, not to write about the autobiography. Now these memoirs and autobiography are somewhat different because they only tell about your personal experience. However, a reflective essay should carry some significance and should tell about any meaning to your reader. Ignoring the structure of an essay. Now remember that an essay has got a structure and that is somewhat different from a storytelling, or this is different from writing down any disorganized thoughts, the way you brainstorm your thoughts, or the way you make down or write down your draft number 1. So you are supposed to keep in mind that if you are going to ignore the structure of the essay, this will result in the disorganized, incoherent text which the reader will find hard to comprehend. So the disorganization, or if the logical sequence is not there, if the thoughts are not combined, if your arguments are not related and they are not coherent, your reader will will not get to one end and will not reach that end with where you wanted to drag them to. Now, being too informal while writing one reflective essay is not very good idea, because you are supposed to keep in mind that it is one academic piece of paper and it has to follow one style style of writing down one good essay. Now, moving on to the last portion of our lecture today, that is the example of reflective essay that is to be described for the reader. The example we have is the information pressure, that ignorance is a bliss. Now, information becomes a pressure for you, and ignorance, if you are ignorant about something, then you are blessed. How the writer is successful to drag these two poles apart into one situation. Now, let's try to see that how successful he is in doing that. Now let's begin with the introduction paragraph. I will read it and you listen to me carefully again. Come to think of it, nowadays some people live under pretty harsh conditions. Their physical and mental health is constantly under threat. Bad ecology, overpopulated megalopolises, economic crisis, large amount of work to be done in a short amount of time, and many other factors affect modern humanity in a very negative way. Besides, almost everyone nowadays is constantly exposed to informational pressure. Every single day, thousands of media sound bites try to shape an outlook of people, tell them what to buy, what to think, and even what to be afraid of. So this is providing them one information that they should know. So once they know of that, what to buy, what to think, and even what to be afraid of, they become under pressure, they come under pressure. And who is doing that? This media sound bites or these media advertisements or these media reports are telling them to, or they are awareing them, or they are providing them this information. All possible facts about everything happening around in the world are summarized and presented to audience on prime time television. To my mind, the amount of information bombarding the population should be limited somehow, or at least its character should be changed. Now this bombardment, the word of bombardment the writer uses for the bombardment of the information for the audience or for the people being introduced by the media, is the writer of his opinion that it should be reduced because it is increasing the information pressure on the audience or on the people. Now let's see how he tries to prove his idea. I can remember the days when there was no TV and internet at my place. I wasn't much informed about what was going on in the world, about all the scandals, accidents and wars. Back then it was hard to imagine those enormous amounts of useless information that people consciously and unconsciously consume every day. After I found a job, ironically it was news agency, I quickly understood a new reality. Now see this mention of I and I again. This personal pronoun is becoming important because the writer is telling about his personal experience that he is trying to share with us. Now that he is trying to tell that how this information bombardment should be avoided, and how he begins his paragraph that at his place there was no TV or television and his life was very easy. He came to know about all this information bombardment once he got, ironically, he says it ironically because he was not of that very point of view, and he hadn't had any TV or any radio at his home that could tell him about any wars or any accidents or any scandals. So once he got a job in the news agency, ironically his life changed. Now let's move on to the second paragraph of the argument that he is producing. Most media organizations basically focus on negative facts. Now see, in the first introduction line or the topic sentence, he is clearly saying or mentioning that what his paragraph is going to be all about, that the media organizations focus is on the negative facts rather than presenting the positive ones. This is even an appropriate term for this phenomenon, pathogenic journalism. Why would one want want to know about how much money a famous politician has earned. What are the hidden reasons for another celebrity divorce? How many women and children were killed during the last terrorist act in Middle East? How does reporting the downsize of well-known officials' private lives sell more copies? Nevertheless, this and other information flows through people's mind every day, month by month. But do they really need to know so much details? So he himself worries that how the media information being presented by media focuses on presenting the negative facts, that why would one be interested in knowing about someone's divorce, about knowing about someone, that how much some politician earns, and so on and so forth. So this is how he tries to prove his point, that media is promoting the negative facts in there whatsoever they are providing. Now let's move on to the third paragraph of our supporting details. The writer says that I am sure that there are strong reasons to establish and promote publishing houses that focus only on good or at least neutral news. One may find out the news about, for example, cultural and scientific events can be very interesting if presented properly. For instance, remember how NASA supported the informational campaign about the rover Curiosity when it was launched towards Mars. A computer game was created, the main goal of which was to land the rover on the red planet's surface, and the internet was filled with funny fan art pictures and stories on the subject. Or how a team of scientists assigned specific tones to each radioactive isotope and created a program that allowed users to literally listen to what radiation sounds like. So sometimes he's sure that there are strong reasons to establish and promote publishing houses that focus only on good or at least the neutral news. So sometimes the neutral news is also being provided on TV or on media. There is a continuation of this paragraph, or how an artist created a field of artificial fantastic flowers that glowed in night. These and many other wonderful unreported events take place every single day. It doesn't mean that other information isn't necessary. It means that along with political and economic news, more positive facts should be presented to the public. Now that writer is of an opinion that more neutral news or the more positive news should be presented to the public instead of introducing them to the bad news or the negative news. Now, according to the well-known dictum, ignorance is a bliss. Now he comes to his second argument, that is ignorance is a bliss. Earlier his focus on was on providing the details for that how information can be used in a positive sense rather than being used in a negative sense. Unfortunately, modern civilization seems to deny a right of nirvana. Anywhere one goes, they will always be in touch with the rest of the world, at least until they smash their phone, laptop or TV set and move into the hut somewhere in the foothills. People have a right to know, a right to choose, a right to say, but it seems that they don't have the right to ignore unpalatable facts. So sometimes ignorance, this is the right of the people. The author is of an opinion that this is the right of people to know that what to choose, what to say, what to know, but it has become somewhat impalatable fact that how people do not know about them and how they know about a lot of bombardment of information that is useless. Now, it is almost a duty to be informed, to have an opinion on current affairs, to actively resent injustice, to be concerned about the each individual's civil rights, to be a nice and tolerant person. If one isn't because of their temper, ideology or for any other reason, they may quickly become an outcast, even though many people may secretly sympathize with their candor while openly condemning them. So the writer of his opinion that it is our duty, or it is almost a duty to be informed. Every citizen should be informed of everything positive that is going on around them. As for me, I have quit that news agency and dedicated all the free time to my friends and hobbies. These are the best ways to overcome the stress of modern life. Now, writer clearly says that how ignorance is a bliss and how information bombardment is a pressure for everyone. For the writer, how this joining of the news agency was a pressure, and how he states that presenting the negative news for the people was making him also stressed as he was conveying it to other people. Now see that how writer tries to give the meaning or the significance of information or pressure to the audience or to the reader. These are the best ways to overcome the stress of modern life. Now that he has joined talking to his friends and dangling or involving himself into the different hobbies, the writer of his opinion that these kind of things are best ways to overcome the stress of modern lives. It also turned out to the limiting the amounts of information taken in through the media, and paying additional attention to what one perceives each day helps stay calm and confident. Otherwise, the overflow of negative information may easily create the impression that only insurmountable problems occur in the real world. This is patently not the case. So this is how the writer ends up here and tells that how information becomes a pressure for everyone, and how ignorance is a bliss, and he has concluded that well in the last paragraph. So that brings to us to the end of today's lecture. Today we have shared the experience of Emerson and Thoreau, who have clearly said that how the personal experiences in your life teach you something. Then we have also talked about some of the basics in the box, that how you can, what are the ways of writing down one good reflective essay. Then we have practiced writing down the reflective essay. Then we have also seen that how you can plan and you can write down one good reflective essay by following the writing, pre-writing, writing and rewriting techniques. Then we have also discussed the steps for writing the reflective essay, and today we have worked on the making the mind map as well. Then we have seen that how you can select one topic for writing down good reflective essay. There are some key points to be considered, some do's and don'ts and common mistakes that can be made in the reflective essay. And in the end, we have discussed one example of one good reflective essay that talks about that information pressure and ignorance is a bliss. So it comes us to the, or it brings us to the end of today's lecture. Here are some references, the list of references from where the information was being downloaded. That was all for today. I'll see you in the next class with another exciting episode of talking about the expository essay that somewhat resembles the reflective essay, but yet that's a different kind of essay that we are going to focus on in our next lecture. Till then, take very good care of yourself, and Allah Hafiz.